Welcome back to Avaya, Jodi.
Oh my God, it's a pleasure to see you again. I'm excited for our topic today.
Yes, I'm so excited. So, I want to start off by hearing your story in your own journey through or up to menopause.
Yeah, I was like clockwork regular, every 28 days forever. I just turned 54. About 2 years ago or so, I started getting heavier periods, kind of like crime scene type periods. And I now know what that means and I can explain why. And then about 6 months ago, they really slowed down and stopped, and I started getting hot flashes. And the first time I had a hot flash, I was like, this is ridiculous. This is not what I'm going to do. So I rolled up my sleeves and figured out how to kind of unravel it. And so now I have not had a hot flash since, and I get my period, and it's pretty regular and not very crime scene. And I learned a lot about what is kind of going on with the hormones, the organs that create the hormones, and how you can naturally put them into balance so that you're less symptomatic.
Well, let's talk about how you did that. So, how did you figure that all out for yourself, and what things did you try, or how did it work?
Yeah. So, I mean, I knew kind of going in that the hormones, like, let's talk about that. It's the adrenal glands that produce the hormones. And when they get tired, they kind of, when the uterus stops making as many hormones, it's the adrenals that take over. And if the adrenals have the vitality, it's a smoother transition. If they're exhausted, it's harder. So I'll tell you what I did with oils, but I'll also tell you what I did with other remedies, because I think oils can be very supportive, but a lot of times when you're going through these hormonal shifts, your hormones are changing. And I am a big fan of test, don't guess. So I am a fan of the Dutch test. It's a 24-hour urine test, and it can tell you kind of where you are with different hormones like estrogen. Progesterone is a pretty safe guess for most of us. Most of us, when we're going through menopause, are low in progesterone, but test, and estrogen. And then there are other variables that can come into play, the adrenal hormones. For me, it was the estrogen that was low and the progesterone that was very, very low. And so I did work with a practitioner, and I am using Estravera, which is a plant-based estrogen supplement that you can get. I get it at Pharmaca. You can get it on Amazon. And then I also have been using, there's a compound pharmacy that does a progesterone cream that I just put on my arm at night. But Quicksilver has also created a really good progesterone cream that you don't need to go through. You don't need to go to a doctor and get a prescription at a compounding pharmacy. So those are kind of the two staples. And then I can get into some of the other things that I've been doing. But there's a company my friend actually owns. It's called PSC, and it's these plant stem cells when you kind of the dew on the plant in the morning. And the hops remedy is very estrogenic. And so I add that to some water before bed. But the main thing for me has really been supporting the liver and the gallbladder, because it's not so much about the hormone creation. It's more about the hormone recycling, that the excess estrogen is not leaving the body. And so therefore it's staying in and kind of wreaking havoc. And the way that's presenting for me is, I wake up sometimes in the middle of the night. For me, it's around 3 a.m. I have crazy crime scene periods, to the point. A friend wrote this book, Deborah Kopagan, Lady Parts, where she bought those dog pads, like the pee pads for dogs, and would put them under the bed so she wouldn't like bleed through the sheets to the mattress. I did that for a while. It works, but it's like, that is how bad it is, when you're changing your tampon or your pad every hour on the hour. It's, that is a lot of extra estrogen in the system. So anything you can do to really support your liver and your gallbladder through this transition so that the excess hormones are detoxified and don't get recirculated.
Avaya has changed my life.
Avaya has made me the woman I am today.
Avaya is my home.
Avaya is personal freedom.
Avaya is the reason my life continuously improves.
Let everyone in your life know about Avaya.
Everyone needs to know about this amazing company.
Thank you, Avaya, for appearing in my inbox.
What Ike Allen and Andy Anderson have created at Avaya is what the world needs.